Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, they're holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry. I'm a little bit late, and I'm sorry for last night. Mikey went in there, slipped into my time slot, proving he doesn't watch the show, or didn't yesterday, or the day before, and then by the time my timing just wouldn't work out. So here we are tonight. Now, here's the thing. I don't know whose dog that is, but it can shut the fuck up. I have had a very busy day today, and I did not get to record court. We're gonna have to go old school, old fashioned. We're gonna watch this on the interwebs, but what that means is that it could disappear. It could disappear, and also I could be creed framing throughout. We just don't know. So, yeah, did you figure that, Vicky? I know, you're our timing queen. I wonder who will be pink over here. Who do you think will be pink? Oh, I've written all over my hand with Sharpie today. What a day it has been already, but guess what? It's my Friday. So that's exciting. I just cracked myself a Ultra Peachy Keen jelly bean. Monster. You bought a Judge Simulator game. Oh, I like that. Maybe I should play that. I wish I could teleport to a Waffle House right now too, Courtney. Damn it. I want to go to Waffle House with you. My level of sophistication is Waffle House. I can dress up and go to nicer places, but in reality, Waffle House for me, baby. Waffle House. Casey Carey. Yeah, Courtney, I want to just pop on down to Florida. That's my goal. Oh, at this rate, I don't know. Anyways, let's hit play. We're going to skip through Judge Paz's attendance. Hopefully. I tried so many times to download this. It would not do it. Let's skip to maybe like here.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
meantime-
the temporary order is being reissued, so you will have to make sure you provide the updated temporary order too, so he knows when the next hearing is.
Okay, so I'll get that by the email then, right?
Yes, you will.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll
sir.
see you back on April 6th.
Great. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Nancy Donahue. Can you hear me?
Your Honor, this is Nancy.
Yes, I can.
I apologize. I could not get through to the voice on my phone.
The voice on my phone won't leave me alone.
All right, give me one moment, ma'am.
Oh, God. Sandra, what happened to your neck? Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
All right, so Ms.
What time's
Donahue,
members
it
only?
doesn't
Probably
look like
right after
either
we
of the
finish
respondents
this.
have been served.
Correct.
Yeah, all right, so are you making any attempts at service?
Yes, I am. And as a matter of fact, it will happen this week. I found a local process server.
Okay. All right, I don't believe there's any temporary orders issued in your case, ma'am. So what we'll do is we'll reset this for 2 weeks. on
Okay,
both
can I
cases.
just ask a question? Why?
Actually, before you ask a question, I have to point something out. I believe that Waffle House becomes attractive to you when you're the one that pays the bill. Mac, Did your kids pay the bill is the question. Because I think that when you pay the bill, all of a sudden, shit starts tasting better when it's cheaper. When you're younger and don't pay the bills, you get to be discerning.
Is it
Yeah.
after all? Hello?
Yep, go ahead.
Why is it after all the information that I did, because I showed this to someone, why wasn't a temporary service, a temporary order in place after reading the evidence?
Okay. Ma'am, that decision has already been made. Today, we're trying to figure out service and schedule the hearing. So we're not going to go into that again this morning, but we'll reset your hearing for April 6th back at 9 o'clock.
Okay, because we never went into it. It was a decision that was made when I walked into the courtroom. There was no discussion.
Okay. All
Okay,
right. Well,
I just wanted to make that clear.
yeah, ma'am. This is primarily done through declarations and what's in the petition. So folks will read those first and then ask questions if they have any. So we'll set the order or set the hearing for April 6th, and we'll see you back then.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's see. DC number 11, the Cokers filed a motion to, so that one was dismissed.
The
All right.
Cokers,
Do we
we remember
have
them.
Pamela Oates? Nobody in the waiting room. Okay.
Yeah,
Pamela
we got a
Oates.
lot going on here. Jason's got multiple angles of
Uh,
what appears
Nicole
to be like a
Saunders.
drag race.
Okay.
You guys, I
How about
just
Lene Bell?
The door. I am tired. I just remembered I have the rest of a sandwich in my bag.
Mariah Martinez Kirby?
That is quite a name. Mariah.
Denatris Ellis?
Denatris, really? Just to put it in perspective, we did skip
Michael
through 10 minutes.
Burgess? Present? Okay. Any luck with serving David Webb?
Get the information to the police report. They said they'd be able to contact him. I do have documents here that says he's at court twice today. One at 9 and.
Okay. All right. Well, he'll still need to get service. It sounds like you're working with law enforcement on that.
Sounds amazing, Erica. That's what I should do tonight. I won't, but I should.
They told me the information I gave them is all they needed to contact him.
All right. So yeah, check in with law enforcement. I don't see any proof of service having been filed by them. Yeah, it's in, let's see, was there a, okay, so there wasn't a temporary order. All right. Yeah, so law enforcement is able to essentially work as a process server. At times sounds like that's how you've engaged them. And so, yeah, just follow up with them. You think Mr. Webb is in custody? Is that right?
No, he's been released from custody.
Okay.
I do have a form that says he's in court twice. 39 at this court.
Okay. Well, the 9 o'clock might be this hearing. Okay. What we'll do is we will reset the hearing, give you another 2 weeks to get them served. So check in with law enforcement on that. And then he'll need to be served now with the updated order setting a hearing for April 23rd. No, I'm sorry, not April. It's March 23rd, April 6th. Oh, thank you.
There used to be a judge I watched all the time called Judge Sims. She had like 6-hour dockets, and I would spend a majority of my day listening to her dockets. Just like on my own time, not even to stream later. I think that was just before I started streaming.
All right, so I'm signing an order scheduling the hearing for for April 6th to give law enforcement more time to serve the respondent.
This judge is terrible. We have to scroll through.
And I want to have the opportunity to get it to them with
Yeah,
time for them to respond, and physical mail just.
First, all right, so Miss Zadie.
I'm here, Your Honor.
All right, so you've filed a motion to renew the protection order.
Final
Correct.
case. It took him 30 minutes to get to this point, by the way. Oh, judge, oh, judge,
Okay.
judge. Oh, judge,
Miss,
oh,
so I
judge.
looks like, just gonna check one thing.
I am, Courtney. Is that bad for my pictures? My boobs? I'm just joking. She does seem to be moving around a lot for an invalid.
All right, so
Also, please
Mr.
leave me
Workman,
next.
it looks like according to the return of service, were you served a
No,
copy
Erica,
of
I cannot recap this case for you because the case has not begun. You have as much information as I do. So, no, I can't.
request for renewal on March 17th? You're on mute. Can you, not sure if we can hear you still.
Yep, I can hear
There we
you.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so were you served on March 17th?
No, actually, Your Honor, yeah,
That sounds right?
yep.
Okay. All right. So that is, so you've got service. That is before we try to give folks, well, the rules say we give folks 5 days after being served. You've got service at this point. I see you're here. We can reset this a week if you'd like more time to respond. You're entitled to time given the date of service. So I'll ask you that, or we could move forward today.
Move forward.
Would you like to move forward today? Okay.
Yes, sir. Me too. I'm a let's move forward kind of girl. I'm an impatient gal, they would say. You're impatient, Paisley. Not inpatient, mind you. Impatient.
All right. So the on a renewal, a couple of things to note before I hear from the parties here.
On a renewal, the onus switches.
Is a protection order unless the respondent proves by preponderance of evidence, which is essentially more likely than not, that there's been a substantial change in circumstances. And so in this case, the petitioner has filed a renewal. So Ms. Zadie, what I'll ask you to do is I'll swear you in. And then I've got your motion in front of me. So
Okay.
I'll ask you to kind of walk me through why you feel there has not been a substantial change in circumstances, and why you feel an order is still necessary in this case. So if you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth and the whole truth?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, Kitty 9. Go ahead, Sandra. Ma'am?
Let me, yeah, whatever you'd like to say. It's, floor is yours.
Well, Mr. Workman just keeps contacting my family, trying to find out where I'm at. He recently tried to refriend my daughter. And it just continues. And threats, my husband actually got in trouble because there was threats going on. There was people threatening. My life's been threatened by this guy. I just want him to leave me and my family alone. Honestly.
Mm.
All right. I've got your motion for renewal. I'm gonna pull back up the original order.
Okay.
Does anybody remember Mrs. Zadie? Obviously we saw them a year ago. 2 days before my birthday a year ago. That's right, my birthday's in 2 days, ladies and gentlemen. One of my coworkers got me a present, but I didn't open it. I don't know. Is etiquette to open the gift in
So
front of the
you're
person,
saying that
or wait till your birthday, like
that
Christmas?
attempted contact is continuing. Is that right? As far as
Correct.
communication?
Tried to call the Thurston County Sheriff's and they said that there wasn't an order in place. And then I called the courthouse and they said there was. So I don't know what to do about that.
I'm sorry, you said you called the sheriff's department and they said
I
there
did.
was not. Please. All right, Mr. Workman.
Yes, sir.
All right, if you could please raise your right hand. Looks like you're trying to hold the phone. It's all right. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Ed. So again, this is the burden's on you. Way the law is written to show why there has not been a substantial, or to show that there has been a substantial change in circumstances such that the order should not be renewed. You heard there, Zadie. So go ahead with your response.
I haven't talked to any of those 80s except for last November. I'm running the company. I want her out of my life. I haven't contacted anybody over there. I live in Yakima County now, so.
So when you say you
business
contacted those ladies last November, who are those ladies?
I've talked to Jeremy Zadie and Sarah a couple times, but that's it. That was back in November of 2025. That's the last time I talked to him.
Quarter last time.
So not Sandra.
Nope.
All right. And when you say when you're talking about having a business to run and not wanting any contact, what do you mean by that?
Husband contacted you.
I take that back, Your Honor. Sandra's boyfriend's contacted me. I have a screenshot of that.
Okay. So that's what you're referring to?
Yeah.
All right. So you're denying there's been any attempts to contact Sandra over the last year?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And I mean, is there a reason for you to be talking with Sandra's family? It sounds like you said in November you talked to, it sounds like some other members of the Zadie family. Is that what's going on there?
I know Jeremy Zadie is in the same industry as I am, so I've asked him a couple of questions. That's it. I don't really care where she's at. I haven't mentioned her name almost for 3 years now, so I just want her out of my life.
Okay. So you and Jeremy's Zadie, what is Jeremy? So is it work related questions then?
Yep.
All right. Well, and you also referred to those ladies.
Work-related questions. Thank you so much, Erica. It's so sweet that you have my birthday on your calendar. That makes me so happy. And thank you so much for the super chat. who do we believe right now? Let's just get a quick dial in. We've all been listening. Who do you think? Do you think Mr. Workman has been contacting Miss Zadie, or is she conflating things? Thank you again, Erica. Appreciate it. Also, hi, Cellulite Yoga Pants. Nice to see you. Sorry about yesterday. And welcome.
So who else is there?
Contacted Darren.
I never contacted Danielle or anybody.
Okay.
So,
So you referenced contacting those ladies in November. So who are you talking about?
Sarah Zadie and then Tara, I can't remember her last name. I called her by mistake or messaged her by mistake. I just asked how she was doing. That's it. I haven't asked
Happy
about
early birthday, Paisley. It's almost your birthday. Thank you, Cellulite Yoga Pants 20. Oh my god, I choked. I choked on that. 28 months of support. That's how serious it is. I choked. Thank you.
or anybody.
Okay. You said Sarah and Tara. Which one did you said you called someone by mistake, but also to see how they were doing. So who are you calling to see how they were doing?
Tara.
Sarah. Okay.
Tara.
And
not
what's
Sarah.
Sarah's
Was
relationship?
it Tara? Or Sarah? Or Vicky? Or Beverly? Or Courtney? Thank you again. CYP, Vicky P, Beverly, and Courtney. 4. You're amazing. 28 months of support. That's OG. I wish I had an OG button around here. The OG button. Seriously, thank you guys. Appreciate that. Oh my gosh. Here comes more. I want to play too, Casey Carey says. And then NPC coming around saying 28 months here too, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you guys so much. It's a fun game. I love to sing your name or rhyme. I do it all the time. I am afraid that this video will disappear, which if it does, that's just our life together. It's okay. We'll deal with it, but let's watch.
Can I step in, please?
Can my wife step in?
Okay, go ahead. I'll have to swear you in, ma'am.
Oh.
To provide testimony.
Hold on.
Who the heck was that if that wasn't your wife? Jason? We're confused now. What? And why is the judge allowing her to speak? Does she have to free her right hand, right? Like, I don't know. She bursts into verse. It's a curse, but it could be much worse. I added
Your Honor?
much.
Yes.
Who is that?
My name is June Reese, and Sandra has put me on the paperwork as June Workman, which to me, she's stalking us on Facebook because that's my name on Facebook is Workman. But my name is not. I have not changed it.
Okay, why are
So
you
for
rock
somebody that
shot,
is
Jason?
stalking and saying that we're stalking her is definitely stalking us because like I said, only on Facebook is my name Workman.
Ma'am, you weren't sworn in first.
And so you're Jason Workman's wife, is that right?
Yes. And I am she put me on the paperwork that we're stalking her.
Right. So this isn't right. Understood. And I'm going to talk to her about that because this is only an order between Sandra and Jason.
Well, then why is my name on the paperwork?
Right. Right. I understand she's making those allegations.
And then I have another question.
Miss Reese. All right.
Okay.
Hang on.
Okay.
The only thing that I'm concerned with about this renewal is allegations that Sandra Zadie is making, that Jason Workman is still trying to contact her. That's the only thing we're dealing with today. And so if you have any information on that front, and it sounds
I
like
do.
it
Okay.
sounds like Mr. Workman is saying that he has talked to some other members of the Zadie family, but not inquiring after Sandra.
No, not requiring
And
after
so
Sandra.
that's the only thing I'm interested in hearing about today. So go ahead. And I also, if you could try to get back on the, I see, it sounds like maybe there's some audio issues going on here, but I do need to swear you in because you'll be providing testimony. And so if I could,
Well, I'm trying to start my video, but it won't
well,
let me.
it's like were you just there with Mr. Workman?
Yes.
I mean, he could just hand you his phone. I mean,
Okay.
we were. All right.
Okay.
There you go. Can you please
now
raise your
she's-
right hand?
Oh my God. We're getting double angles. Double chin, double angles. I mean,
All right. If you could please raise your right hand. All right. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. He did contact Sarah, but it was an accident call. He was trying to call my friend. And because I was with her, but my phone died.
Okay. All right. So you're saying that was an accident?
Yes. And so
right.
when she answered, he said, he goes, "Oh, sorry, the hell are you?"
All right. All right. Thank you, Miss Reese. All right. So I'm going to come back to Sandra Zadie.
It was her
Oh.
husband that contacted him just a month and a half ago. And like he said, we have a screenshot of it. It says J Youngblood on the on when it came up on our caller ID.
Jeremy Youngblood, is that, and that's her husband?
Yes.
Okay.
Sandra's husband.
All right. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to Sandra now. All right. So Miss Zadie, so let's see. In your motion to renew, and I do want to clarify here. So I do see that your motion, it does mention Jason Workman, but also several other people. I do want to keep it focused on contacts that you believe violate the order, or that remain for you, wanting the order to stay in
You're
place.
sick.
Based on, okay, Mr. Workman, we can still hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Contacts that you feel that the order is still necessary. So you heard what they had to say there. If you could maybe focus a bit on what specifically you're alleging Mr. Workman's been doing, that makes the order still something that should be in place.
Well, for one, I have PTSD from all of this. My caregivers have been here through all of this, my state provided caregivers. He has tried to contact my kids, Dylan Mahoney, and my daughter Danielle. I don't have proof to show you right now, but I can get it. And I did put other people on there just because I know that they're directly affected with him and I don't want any contact with him.
Right. So the order is only, okay. So it sounds like your husband is Jeremy Youngblood?
No, Jeff.
What, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay. Who's Jeremy Youngblood?
There is no Jeremy Youngblood.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. All right. So does Jeff contact Jason Workman?
No, not that I'm aware of at all.
Okay. All right. So all the other people you listed in the order, are you saying you don't want any contact with them, or are you saying that they're trying to contact you on Jason's behalf?
No, Your Honor, I just don't want them. I just know they're directly involved with him and I don't want anything to do with his world.
Okay. So that's not what the order says. Again, the order is just between you and Jason Workman. And so if you would like orders against other people, you would have to get orders against them. So
That's
people
my bad, sorry.
associated with Jason Workman, contacting you or whatever, that if you wish to file a petition, you can do that. But that's not what's in front of me here. What in front of me here is whether the order protecting you from communication from Mr. Workman should continue. And
Okay.
for that, again, so what we're looking for there is whether or not there's been a change in circumstances. And so I'm trying to figure out here if you're saying that Jason specifically, or his, other people, but on his behalf, are trying to communicate with you, because you are the only two parties to this order.
Okay.
So with that in mind, I'll let you. Does that make sense to you? Is that
Yeah,
what
that
you're?
was my mistake. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. So I'll let you respond to that.
That was my mistake. Sorry. I just want him to be out of my world.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's why we have these hearings too, is to try to help clarify what folks are asking for and everything. So, all right. So just to be clear though, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm going to summarize what I think you're saying. You are saying that you are having communication from people in Jason Workman's world, who you've listed in your motion to renew, and you would prefer to not have communication from these people, but Jason Workman himself and no one on his behalf is necessarily reaching out to you, trying to communicate with you either from Jason himself or on Jason's behalf. Is that accurate?
June didn't contact me or try to contact anybody about me. It's just the threats I keep having, and people drive by my house all the time. And there was an issue that somebody drove by and said, "You're gonna die now." He's made death threats. That's why I legally had to change my name in the court. That's why I have a advocate now, because of all the stuff going on, and I just want him to leave me alone.
Okay.
But June did not try to reach out to me.
Okay. Are you? I mean, do you have any suspicion that those threats were made again by Jason or on his behalf?
I believe so.
Okay. Just
I
because
don't
of
have
your
no proof of
just
that, but I
because of your
believe so.
history. All right.
Why the hell would I drive from Yakima County to the other side?
Right. So
Yeah.
right. And Mr. Workman, you said you were in Yakima County.
Chicken
I
salad
think that's
Yes, sir.
sandwich.
Yakima. Okay.
Yep.
Leftover from lunch.
I don't even know where she lives. Why would I drive over there when I live in Yakima County when diesel prices are almost $6 a gallon?
Gas right now is like $8.40 a gallon, or yeah, a gallon. It's like $2.10 a liter.
All right. So kind of last thing, Ms. Zadie. So because I want to make sure I'm clear. Are you alleging anything about Mr. Workman or anyone on his behalf contacting you or members of your family in an attempt to learn where you are, to contact with you indirectly, anything like that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So you do think that's what's happening?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And can you talk a little bit more about why you feel that is the case?
Well, there's no reason for Jason to be reaching out to my children, and he has reached out to my son multiple times and asked where I'm at.
Okay. Mr. Workman, any response to Ms. Zadie's comments there that you're talking to her kids? Is that Sarah? Is that who we're talking about?
No.
We're talking about, okay. Who's
Dylan
Sarah?
Mahoney, Danielle Zadie. Sarah's my niece.
Okay, your children are who?
Dylan Mahoney, Danielle Zadie,
Dylan?
and Dylan, DY.
Dylan, I'm sorry. All right. Mr. Workman, any response to, again, I know they're not parties to the order necessarily, but any response to Ms. Zadie saying you're talking to her children?
No, I blocked their number. I don't have their number anymore. I had to change my number because Mr. Youngblood tried calling me, so I had to change my number 6 months ago.
Well, that's an interesting development. I'm
She was
Well,
just
it's
a-
either her or him, but one of them called from that phone number that is registered to them.
I bought more of the ultimate garlic parm.
Okay. Thank you all.
Doritos,
So,
they're so good.
you know, at this point, Mrs. Zadie, I'm not finding that there's, well, I guess the burden is on Mr. Workman here, and it does seem like there's been a substantial change in circumstances. It sounds like he's in Yakima County. You're over here in Thurston County. I understand your frustration is with folks in Mr. Workman's orbit, maybe communicating with you. As far as the order between the two of you, though, it doesn't sound like there's been any allegations that he's trying to contact you, that he's having people contact you on his behalf. It sounds like, so I'm not seeing anything there that would, I think, justify keeping the order in place. Now, again, if you're saying that you're being stalked or harassed by other folks that you don't want contact with, again, that's not even something I could do in this order because the order is just between you and Jason Workman.
Right.
And so I can't even explore that here in any kind of renewal. So again, you're always welcome to file petitions on other folks if you think that they're stalking or harassing you. But at this point, I'm not finding grounds to renew the protection order specifically between you and Jason Workman. With that, so that order will,
I thought you were going to be pink.
that order will expire.
Not from your shower, unless you like it really hot. In the chat, I mean, we're waiting for somebody to be pink in the chat. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good week so far. I know it's everybody else's Monday, but it's my Friday. So we're loving that for me. Looking good with the check mark, as usual.
I do find that the respondent has shown there's been a substantial change in circumstances here, given the absence of communication and
Hi, Priscilla. Captain Snarky's med tech. Yeah, are you still wet, Mikey? Courtney is asking all the right questions around here.
physical distance between the two of you, and it sounds like also maybe the nature of the request for the renewal. Hopefully we've sort of clarified that here as well today. Any questions, Ms. Sadie?
Nope, that's everything.
Mr. Workman, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you both. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Cree did say that you have
Does
a
that
lot
mean
of
this
hair
order is
products.
dismissed?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
expiring, so
It's
it's not being
dismissed.
renewed.
Pardon me.
So yes, it's going away. Yeah,
And when will that
That's-
happen?
today, as soon as I sign it. So it'll be
Okay.
after the hearings today, but
Good, 'cause we're
my
gonna
And
grab
then
up
can I
from
say
Yakima.
something else? One more thing to Miss
Uh,
Zadie, or
No,
is
ma'am.
it Youngblood? Because it's both names on the paperwork, so I'm not sure which one to use. But Jeremy contacted us,
all right. So
and
at this-
he sent pictures to us that she was, because one of the things that she had on the paperwork was he was stalking her.
Okay,
He
so Miss
was-
Reese, I'm gonna stop you. All right, if you want to take, people can take out petitions against each other. We're not going to litigate
Well, I'm
that
just
here.
saying, she can take
I
it out on her,
understand,
Jeremy.
and the order's it's expiring. All right, so it's not being renewed. So if there are other folks involved who want to take action against each other, you're all more than welcome to look into how to do that. But this order between Miss Zadie and Mr. Workman is going to expire. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Chips are addictive.
Thank you all. You're all free to go.
I'm back.
So is taurine and Monster.
Let's go. Yep.
Yep.
All right. So that takes
Turn
us
off your other
to
camera, guys. The one you left on the truck. Could you turn that one off too? What's
We
next?
got Adam Rainey and David Musgrave. I believe everyone's here.
Adam and David. Oh, Adam.
Let's
Also,
see.
Courtney, this is your chance. Say next.
Okay, and just so you know, hang on a sec.
Yes, perfect. Judge Pause is what we call this judge because he's constantly pausing and pondering. He ponders down yonder. Also, I gotta fix my chair.
Sounds like you're saying it's going to take a while. You haven't filed anything with the court.
You haven't filed anything. Yeah, it's gonna take a while because you didn't file shit.
I have a 44-page response.
44
Well,
pages,
that's
sir.
not something I'm going to look at here on the
I
record.
understand.
So,
He'll answer any question you have about this.
okay, so I mean, we can, couple of things. Why don't you come on up? And then we can either hear the, or we can reset, or we can hear it. Because
I would like to know how to file for, this might take quite.
yeah, that's fine.
How to
Mr. Rainey
file,
is on,
how the defendant files this stuff.
so
I
all of that
couldn't find
information
it.
is in the service packet you received.
What's that?
It's in the service packet you received, is how to upload documents to the.
Okay, I'll
court
look at
file.
that again.
So we
Okay, I'll
can
read
go
that.
today, if you would like. My inclination is to not, because I want to make sure that, I mean, and Mr. Rainey has filed, you know, a lot of petitions, or I'm sorry, a lot of exhibits.
Right, I brought
that
a
I've,
copy for
yeah,
him.
and I've had a chance to review those pretty thoroughly. I know we were here before too, so I've reviewed it kind of twice, once and again, getting ready for this morning. And so it sounds like you have some documents you would like to have the judge take a look
Yes.
at. You were all here earlier as far as
Something I read
continuances.
said I had to upload them 10 days in advance.
Well, you do, so no, you don't, you
So I
can
was
file your
confused about
responsive
what I
documents.
could do.
Okay.
There's an e-docs thing, but the forms there don't relate to this at all.
If you have questions about how to upload documents to the court file, the civil department there's a window right here in the lobby. If you walk out of the courtroom, there's a sign that says civil
I worked on
department.
this all week last, I had 5 days, so I worked on it all week. I finished it last night.
Okay, so I think what makes the most sense is to reset this to give, because we also want Mr. Rainey to have a chance to see what you're filing.
Sure.
And so again, we want everyone to have the benefit of all the information. And you know, we do try to resolve these in a timely manner, but at the same time, we want to resolve this with everyone having benefit of all the documents and what everyone wants to say. And that's, you know,
I tried to bring it up for
yep.
everybody.
No, that's, so I think what we'll do, so Mr. Rainey, I see you on Zoom there. All right, so, and you filed everything, you've served, there's nothing more, Mr. Rainey, you need to do. You're all set. At this point, though, I think what we're gonna do is we'll reset it a week. And that will give Mr. Musgrave a chance to file everything with the court, and with Mr. Rainey. Mr. Rainey, do you have any questions about how to access the court file when that gets uploaded?
No, Your Honor, I have access to that.
Okay, all right. So Mr. Musgrave, if you want to, so that's what we'll do. So first things first is we'll continue this to next week.
Okay.
So that will be April,
And
I'm sorry, March 30th.
would the lady out there
Actually,
then be able to
programming
show me
note,
where
we
that
won't
link
have a
is
show
in
on
here?
March
Because I've looked at this and I've looked online and I mean, I spent more than an hour, probably close to 2, trying to find out how to upload stuff.
Yeah, so you've got the packet. Yeah, so if you take, so the civil window is open right there.
And
If you explain you're a respondent in this case, you'd like to upload documents to the file.
But could I just hand the package to her? Do I need to do this as a PDF?
I don't know. Kayla, do you know?
We'll take it the way that it is. They'll-
So I have a PDF at home.
Okay, yeah, so they'll help you.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I have tinnitus. It's really hard to
Okay.
hear.
Oh, no worries. I'll try to speak up. Okay. Yeah. So if you just take it to the civil department window up there,
Right.
they can help you upload it. And it sounds like we might be able to do that right here. And that way
I'll
it's
get that
up
done.
in the file and everyone.
So take it we're rescheduled for next Monday?
Yes, so we'll be back next
Same
Monday at
place,
9.
same time?
Same place, same time.
Okay.
And at that point, we'll make sure everyone's got all the documents and we can have a full hearing where everyone's seen everything and
Okay,
we'll make some decisions. So we'll do that next Monday.
okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr.
Everyone-
Musgrave. Mr. Rainey, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so those documents may well be up later today, it sounds like. So be on the lookout for those if you want to take a look and be ready to respond.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all. We'll see you back next Monday.
Thank you.
Someone needs to take these chips away from me and take me for dinner. That's what we need. Indeed. I'm hungry. And I've worked very hard.
All right,
Next.
let's
Yep.
see. We've got here in the courtroom, Sarbury. Is that right?
Actually really
Okay.
good. They've
So we'll
got, like, a
go
little
Wilbur
zest
Sarbury
to them,
and
and I
Neil
like
Weatherhead.
it. Get them away from me. I don't want to eat them anymore.
All right. And you can sit on either since he's on
I've
Zoom.
only done 13,500
All right.
steps today.
And
which is
then
low.
I know there was I'm toggling over to the case, but while I do that, some names I recognize. Melissa Seeger is. Oh shoot. Okay, no worries. Okay, thank you. I'm just going to make sure I see who everyone is. So Ariel McClendon. All right, I see you on Zoom, and I believe
Isn't that what Ariel
you're
says?
part of this case. Is that right?
I'm a witness on behalf of Wilbur, yes.
Yes. Okay, that's right.
Hi, Donald. Nice to see you.
And then Ted Weiss as well, whose name I think I saw. Okay, so we've got
Yes.
Ted Weiss.
Oh, look, it's the wife back. She's like, you bitch, you had my phone on this whole time? Oh, Melissa, are you hiding behind my chair?
All right, Cindy Smith on Zoom.
hold your
Is that a
spot.
witness for anyone here?
She's.
Go ahead, Ms. Smith.
I'm here to support Wilbur.
Wilbur needs support, guys. Get prepared.
Can you hear me?
Are you
Yes.
gonna have another
All right, so
meetup,
you're part of
Mikey?
this.
I'll
All right.
come.
Yes.
I love to
All right,
come.
and then we've got Mr. Weatherhead on Zoom. Okay. All right, I think that's everyone except for Melissa Seeger.
I'm here.
All right. You're here, okay. So what we're gonna do, we're just, because that case was dismissed earlier, so we're gonna sort of get that back here now.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I thought court was at a later date. And then the guy I had the restrainer on started texting me saying, "Ha ha, you missed court." And so I hurried up and got on here.
Okay.
Wait, he texted her today?
I mean,
during
he's already
court?
bothering me just as soon as the court got over.
Right. Okay, well, and it was dismissed for failure to appear. And all right, so
I know, I could have a
well,
crease
at this
like
point,
that, but
and Mr. Deaton is gone now. So I can't sort of put an order back in place without giving him notice. So let's see.
oh, see, there's
Issued a
something
temporary
blocking
order.
your blessings. He texted her, ha ha, you missed court, and then look at her signing back on.
So you just got the dates wrong, is that right?
Yeah, I thought you said I'll see you in 2 weeks. And it was 1 week. You said 1 week. And I didn't call the police on him, but he did contact me 2 times right after he got served, complaining about how I put a restraining order on him. So this is somebody I really need this against.
Understood. Well, what I'll do, ma'am, I understand, and I remember issuing the temporary order as well.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll reissue the, well,
You can't. You dismissed it. Sir, Judge, this is why, unfortunately for you, when one party has appeared and the other party hasn't, you usually need to wait till the end of the docket to dismiss, says Paisley, who's quite obviously not a lawyer. But I have administrated a
So
lot
what
of
I'll do is
things.
I'll issue a temporary order, but it will go into effect once he's served.
Okay.
Because at this point, you know,
He thinks there's
Mr.
not
Dean
one.
is reasonably under the impression now that the order is no longer in effect. So
I
I want to
understand
be
that.
careful here.
I
So what
understand.
I'll do is I will issue the temporary order because I recall this
Okay.
case and I think that makes sense. Um,
Okay.
and so he will need to get served with that again. The
Okay.
hearing, so that will be in place. The hearing will be in 2 weeks to give you 2 weeks to serve him.
So okay,
You
so
are
it
able to
will
serve
be
him.
in 2.
Yes, it will be in 2 weeks because he'll have to be reserved. So that's going to be April 6th.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
All right. So
Wait, I
I'll-
have to serve him?
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, he'll have to. Oh no, I'm sorry. We'll do law enforcement because that order to surrender
Oh my
weapons.
gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
So
He's
well,
about to
he
have
is
a
going to
heart
have
attack.
to be served. Yeah, he will
Okay.
have to be served, but not by you.
Okay, so April
And
6th.
yeah, April 6th. So that's to give law enforcement time to serve him.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
you know, ma'am, in the meantime, again, once he has been served and the order is in effect, that order is in effect, and it's a no contact order. So it's your decision what to do if you feel there's been contact in
Well, I think
violation
the
of the order.
reason I think I'm just too nice, which is why I probably stayed longer than I should have. But I thought like, okay, I'm just gonna let it, maybe he's just kind of in shock right now. I'll just let it, and then if he messages me again, and then had messaged me 2 times, but then he hasn't since, and so I thought, okay, everything's fine. But now, as soon as he thought, everything got dropped, now he's right back to harassing me immediately as soon as court ended.
All right. Well, I'll reissue that temporary order. Again, and if there's contact between the two of you, you got to make sure he's been served before you make any kind of conclusion about if that's against the order or not. But that's the whole point of these orders, is to prevent someone from contacting. So if there's contact,
and I'm not going to do that again. I'm not. It's good. I will call the police. I understand.
All right, ma'am. So I'm going to reissue that order to surrender weapons, the temporary order. Law enforcement will serve him. We'll be back here April 6th.
At what time?
Same time at 9 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Seeger.
She looks like she
Okay,
slept
bye-bye.
in.
All right. So that takes us to.
A case. Next, Courtney.
Thank you for everyone's patience. These calendars can be a bit dynamic.
It is a
Mr.
serious
Weatherhead against Mr. Sabri.
Sabri?
Sauerbry. I'm sorry. That all kinds of.
What?
All right. So what I'm going to do before I turn it over to you folks is I want to go over a couple of things first. And first things first is, so there's been allegations of unlawful harassment by Mr. Weatherhead against Mr. Sauerbry. Sauerbry? I got it wrong. Sauerbry. 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 Last time I'll get it wrong.
Also, look at the humble brag
All right,
from Mr. W up here with his moon roof.
What I like to start these hearings with is sort of explaining that the words harassment and stalking, as you all may have kind of witnessed, there's some common understandings of what this means, what it means to be harassed, what it means to be stalked, that people use in everyday parlance, and that is all often very different from the legal definition of unlawful harassment and unlawful stalking. So what I like to do to start these hearings is go over the legal definition of unlawful harassment, because when I hear testimony and I ask questions, And when I go through the exhibits and what's been filed, which I've gone through everything from both sides, is what I'm looking for is whether or not the petitioner, so Mr. Weatherhead in this case, has proved more likely than not that there has been unlawful harassment, meaning that all of these elements, there's 6 elements, that every one of them has been met. So I'm going to go over those elements now because I want folks to understand that when I'm listening to your testimony, when I'm asking questions, these are the 6 things that I'm looking for. So unlawful harassment is, number 1, a knowing and willful course of conduct. Number 2, directed at a specific person. Number 3, without a lawful or legitimate purpose. Number 4, that appears designed to alarm, annoy, or harass the petitioner. Number 5, that would cause a reasonable person to suffer substantial emotional distress. And 6, and that actually does cause the petitioner to suffer substantial emotional distress. So those are the 6 elements, and those are things I'm going to keep coming back to. There's a couple of these that I like to go into a little bit more detail because that's where a lot of cases tend to get sort of caught in the weeds. The first is the first element, knowing and willful course of conduct. Course of conduct means there's been a pattern of behavior evidencing continuity of purpose. So it's not one incident, one single incident. In very limited circumstances form the basis of anti-harassment. What we are generally looking for is an ongoing pattern of behavior that persists despite someone being told to stop. So that's what we're looking for. The next one is directed at a specific
I'm
person.
always whispering sweet
I think you
nothings,
all
Mikey. You should know
sort
that.
of witnessed that a lot of times petitioners and respondents will talk about things being done to other people, aren't parties to the petition. And again, that's relevant only if other people are being used to contact someone who is being protected or something of that nature. So we're looking at, and this is, I think, particular in this case too, that's why I raise it, is so we're looking at harassment directed at a specific person. Number 3, without lawful or legitimate purpose. Again, this is something that I want to focus on for this particular case. Some things we look at in whether or not the contact was lawful or legitimate is whether someone is unreasonably interfering with the petitioner's privacy or creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive living environment for the petitioner. And I raise this here because this is not a forum for resolving land use disputes. And so, Mr. Weatherhead, one thing that I'll be looking for from you in particular is the difference between harassment on your property versus a dispute over whether or not representatives of HOA are able to come onto certain parts of the property, whether there is even the existence of particular easements.
Whoa, did he just say HOA? Did he just say HOA? Oh shit. We hate HOAs around here. Oh dear. Oh dear.
What the rules are for those easements, because the contact needs to be without a legitimate purpose. And so one thing we don't use the anti-harassment or docket to do is resolve land use disputes. And this is particularly true when we have issues between neighbors who are disputing property rights and who can go where and easements and things of that nature. That gets resolved through property type actions over in Superior Court. I know that's not the only much. That's part of the question I've got for you, just so you know. So again, these are the things that we look for in unlawful harassment. So I'll go back to these definitions. I'll be going back to these elements because each one of these needs to be shown as more likely than not in order for an order to issue. So that's the legal stuff that I like to get out of the way early. A couple of housekeeping things. These hearings can get pretty heated.
We're fucking banking on it, Judge. Also, you guys are so funny. My eyes light up when I look at my phone.
I find it's
The
even more
rumors are
heated
already
particularly
flying
when
around
folks,
here.
someone is on Zoom, because then you're not really face to face, and sometimes it's a bit easy to get caught up saying. Direct all comments to me, to the court. Don't address each other, and all comments come to me. If folks start talking to each other, and that's when I start cutting people off. So address everything to me, and also know that you'll get your turn. Again, you've seen at least one hearing already. I do try to let people go back and forth a bit, so as allegations are raised, so I can respond to that, things of that nature. So I do that in part so that people know if you start hearing things that you don't like, just recognize, we're not going to go forever, but you will have a chance to respond. So keep that in mind as well. Last thing before I start taking testimony is the protection order statute contemplates that decisions are made primarily based on the sworn declarations and what's been provided in the court file. So I've read everything. I've read the petition. I've read everyone's exhibits. I'm gonna, before I take testimony, I'm gonna go over my review of the record, just so everyone are able to see where I'm coming from, and you can kind of go from there. And then my approach to taking testimony is not to have somebody essentially give a speech about their position. It's conversational. I ask questions that help me get to an answer. Obviously, if you have stuff you'd like to say, you're welcome to, but it's really an opportunity for me to ask questions, and learn a little about what's going on here, and to align what I think is going on here with what's required under the statute. So with all that said, I'll take testimony from Mr. Featherhead,
No
Mr.
rings.
Sauerbry, and then we'll go from there. Before I do that, what I want to do is go over the timeline as I've reviewed it from the docket. And that way, again, both of you can see where I'm coming from. And you can correct me if I get it wrong or fill in the gaps.
Vicky,
So
stop
Mr.
spreading
Weatherhead
rumors that I need a rich man.
Arguing unlawful harassment based on roughly the following timeline. In my understanding, again, Mr. Weatherhead owns property that is within this homeowners association. And on September 20th, I think is the earliest date that I've got, there's a allegation that Mr. Sauerbry came on to Mr. Weatherhead's property. Mr. Weatherhead texted Mr. Sauerbry, saying you're trespassing. And Mr. Sauerbry replied essentially that it seems like a disagreement over where, again, the property line is, where the HOA can go for HOA business. There's some allegations from the HOA. It sounds like that Mr. Weatherhead was in possession of HOA property and equipment, and that Mr. Sauerbry, as a representative of the HOA, was there on HOA business. So that's September 20th. November 6th. Again, there's allegation from Mr. Weatherhead that Mr. Sauerbry is on his property and spray painting. In his response, Mr. Sauerbry indicates that there's an ongoing dispute regarding the existence of an easement at the end of Starflower Lane, or existence or scope of an easement at the end of Starflower Lane, and that he was there measuring it way to identify the easement. Mr. Sauerbry indicates Mr. Weatherhead may be violating some CCRs with respect to that easement as part of the HOA. So that's November 6th. February 19th, Mr. Sauerbry sends Mr. Weatherhead an email regarding it on February 25th to address some alleged CCR violations. Mr. Weatherhead requests more time. That request is denied. Then on that day, February 25th, Mr. Sauerbry, as I believe two of the witnesses here, Ted Weiss and Ariel McClendon, go on to, I guess, at least what's alleged to be Mr. Weatherhead's property. And there was a confrontation there between between those three folks from the HOA, and not Mr. Weatherhead, but Mr. Weatherhead's fiance, Lindsay Silling, and his father,
Fiance.
Neil Weatherhead Sr., I suppose. And the HOA folks were told to leave. It seems like there was a bit of a confrontation. This is where Mr. Weatherhead alleges that Mr. Sauerbrei, brandished a weapon.
My wedding dress?
And put his father and fiance in fear. Mr. Sauer denies that and shed a little bit more light on the confrontation, essentially saying that they being the HOA representatives, announced to Lindsay and Neil Sr. That they were there on HOA business. There was an argument. They were left when they were asked to. There was some difficulty in turning around, but that they did try to leave, and that I think Miss indicated that she felt
I think if I get married
in that
again,
situation.
I'll do it naked.
And that being the last instance that I've got noticed. So that's where I'm at. And so with that in mind, that's the roadmap here. I'll now swear in the parties, and
I already
go
used
from there.
teal
So,
for my first wedding.
Mr.
so
Weatherhead,
like,
if you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to and the whole truth?
Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I'm seeking anti-harassment protection order on Mr. Sauerbrei and his proxies based on the pattern of unwanted entry onto my property that you've already stated, the refusal to leave when asked to do so, and as you already mentioned, the conduct that I reasonably perceived to be intimidation, including the presence of the firearm by Mr. Sauerbrei and the statement that he was there for intimidation. I want to be clear, I'm not asking the court to resolve the HOA dispute regarding the property and road maintenance. I'm simply here to seek this anti-harassment order as my counsel prepares for a civil case to be heard by Superior Court. And the fact that Mr. Sauerbrei continues to enter my property, elicit towing companies to tow my property and my friends' properties, and make slanderous claims, and both to me and online within our community. So I prepared the whole timeline. You kind of touched on each one, so I'll spare the court time in going back over those. As you can see, there's been an ongoing escalation each time I've requested.
Oh my God, you guys, I'm so old. I'm flirting on my phone, and then I moved my back weird, and it hurt. There's no babies in the works. Understand that. Understand it. Okay? I'm old. Jesus Christ, I actually hurt my back. I think, isn't Creed ordained to do weddings as well? I heard that.
For Mr. Sauerbrei, that the easements
Joke's on you guys, I actually gave birth already when I was off for a month.
The rules that he was trying to enforce, which the rules, to my knowledge, have been made since Mr. Sauerbrei became president. For past context, I was part of the HOA as the treasurer prior to this, and I stepped down due to the slanderous claims that Mr. Sauerbrei and his wife were making on me and the road maintenance. So I decided to step down.
Donald, first of all, I have to say something. Donald, remember, there was a case before that we watched where the woman had twins, but they were different dads, even though they were twins. And they did DNA testing and found that out. And one of the lawyers alleged that she had multiple encounters on the same night in order to achieve this type of pregnancy. This is totally besides the point of the case that we're watching, which is about an HOA. Spoiler alert, don't live in an HOA. It never works out.
Have been pursued in this harassment and slander ever since. This all started actually on September 10th when I approached Mr. Sauerbrei about, as the new president, about ongoing issues with people trespassing on my property, both from Cindy Smith, an adjoining property owner, and Ted Wise, who's also here. It was the 10 days later that he tried to flip the table, that I was under, or I was storing vehicles against the rules that he stated, as on the turnaround that Cindy Smith had erected, but not against county drawings that were drawn up. She, instead of doing it both on my property and her property, decided to do it all mine. So that I've been trying to work with the county to figure out if that's allowed. And as far as I'm understanding, she was not supposed to do it all on my property. But back to the harassment at hand. On February 25th, I decided to make this anti-harassment suit because it was clear that it was escalating to a point where he was intimidating my family, and with a weapon at this point, it made us fear for our safety at this time, as we prepare for court in the Superior Court.
So, Mr. Weatherhead, what's the Superior Court action? Is that what type of action is that?
Yes, Your Honor. It's my case is that ever since I stepped down from the HOA, I'm being selectively enforced upon. The rules have changed in their favor and against mine without the proper voting authority that it's supposed to. In Chapter 8 of our CCNRs, it's required that over 50%, 67% actually must be vote pro for any changes to the CCNRs.
Okay, so so it's a civil lawsuit over issues relating to like HOA operations and things of that nature.
Yes, Your Honor, because there's at least 10 other violations that aren't being pursued. Only mine are.
And then, so your petition names your children, or at least three minors. I believe two of your fiance's last name, one is yours. But it does not name your fiance or your father. And so the most concerning allegation you make obviously concerns an incident with brandishing firearms. And so I'm not saying that you weren't there sort of defeats the petition. But my question is, how does the brandishing the firearm, is that a pattern of behavior that you're saying happened in that interaction, or was that something you heard from your fiance and your father happened in those kind of last straw situations? Talk to me a little bit more about that, since those two folks, your fiance and your father, named in the petition, but it sounds like action against them is sort of the basis of what brought you to. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes, Your Honor, that might have been an oversight on me. I intended to include them in the petition as well. I thought there were separate sections for minors and adults. But Mr. Sauerbrei brandishing a weapon is not uncommon. He has it on his hip at all times. In this instant, he was touching it, from what I was told, excessively, and made the statement that he was there for intimidation.
All right.
What was the other question?
Okay. So, and is 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 Miss Silling with you? Is she able to talk, or your father?
She's
Members
not, Your
only
Honor.
will
She
be
was available at the
probably a half
previous
hour after we finish tonight. I don't know
court
when
date,
this is
but
going to be
has to
over.
work today, unfortunately.
So her
I don't know if this case is going to continue on or if it ends. Like I said, I literally got into the house at 4:21 p.m. Pacific, and then I went live at like 4:38. I know I was late. And I haven't watched this, so I don't know, but I would assume I'm going to give myself maybe 20 minutes in between the end of this, once this case ends, and then members only. I need to obviously check in with my wedding planner a little bit. My ring is obviously being sized. That's why I don't have it yet. I'm joking. I wish. I do wish.
her allegations, though, because I believe the petition just it references. I think it just has brandishing firearm is the language. So the specifically, I was curious, kind of specifically what the allegations were. So correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like what you're saying is he had a firearm holstered, but was touching it excessively. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any experience where something like that had happened before?
Yes, Your Honor. He's had it and kind of flaunted his firearm, and a lot of our HOA meetings, we meet up to do road cleaning or something, and he's in possession of it and tries to express that intimidation kind of factor. But
All right. And then you also indicated that in the petition, let's see, I guess I'll read it to you. Find the right spot.
I'm not a big ring kind of girl. You know? I mean, I would take a 2-carat ring, obviously.
Okay, so yeah, in your petition, you indicate that you allege that Mr. Sauerbry is antagonizing you and your family while making it known he's carrying a pistol. And I think you essentially just said something to that effect here too. Can you tell me a little bit more about what that means?
yes, Your Honor. Touching it and just drawing attention to it was the primary concern, and then his verbal expression that he's there for intimidation.
Okay, and did your fiance, did she say that was, do you recall like the words used? I mean, was that it? That
Yes, Your Honor, that's what she said. She had recorded it, and it's kind of muffled when he says that, but so that's why I didn't include that recording in discovery.
And last question before you'll have a chance again, but before I turn it over to Mr. Sauerbry, so with respect to the kind of the allegations of trespassing, are you saying that Mr. Sauerbry is coming onto your property where it's undisputed that it's your property and that he doesn't have a right to be there because of any kind of easement or any kind of HOA business? Bless you. Or are you saying that is it the case that these are issues that are being disputed and you feel you're correct, and that and so this is not an issue that can otherwise be resolved? He's just coming onto your property.
Yes, Your Honor. So September 10th, when I initially contacted.
What is Cellulite Yoga Pants talking about? Are you guys seeing a different screen than I am? She said it twice. Now Brooklyn said about diamonds in a pink Subaru. Brooklyn, I heard it's black lace. Then John speaks. Then Vicky speaks. Cellulite Yoga Pants having a stroke. Do we need to check in on her? Wellness check on CYP. Wellness check on CYP.
Him about himself and others trespassing, and then again on the 25th of September, and where I show that I expressly showed him the map where the road ends. Another exhibit, I can't recall off the top of my head, and I don't have it pulled up, shows that
I
map
checked.
and where my cameras are located, but I have pictures of him crossing the cameras northerly of where the road ends that he knowingly passed. So I guess a little bit more context. When I had these issues with the trespassers, I put a rope up across the road where the end of the road essentially is, not specifically because of I would have had to put a post in the middle of the roundabout if I did it specifically. But I put a rope up that said no trespassing, so people that didn't know if they were trespassing or not knew once they crossed that rope. It's a physical barrier. I also included in my pictures the other 5 instances where other lot owners have done a physical gate at the end of the roads in the middle of the intersection that is designated for the same kind of ingress egress
Undress.
easements.
Is that
So
what he said? To
Mr.
undress?
Sourbrae
Okay.
crossed that rope and continued northerly onto what would be considered my driveway at that point, but it's built to the standards of the road as well. Multiple times after I proved to him where it stopped.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Weatherhead. Again, well, I'll come back to you one way or another. Since it's your petition, you also get the last word. So it is coming back to you. But for now, I'd like to swear in Mr. Sourbrae. And before I do that too, there are instances in the statute where the court can hear from non-party witnesses if their testimony would be material, so important and necessary to the decision. I don't know if Ms. McClendon or Mr. Weiss were intending on testifying today or not. It sounds like they were the other ones who were on the respondent side present for the issue on February 25th. And so I would be curious about anything they have to say on what they witnessed there, because that is sort of a bulk of the allegations come from that interaction. So I'll leave that in mind, and I might ask Mr. Sourbrae what his preferred preference is for today. But to start with, I'll hear from him directly. So if you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And were you intending for Mr. Weiss and Ms. McClendon to testify?
I was, yes.
Okay. All right.
I guess I would put that kind of back to you, but my thought with having them is then it wouldn't be my word against somebody else's word, but there would be more people that were there at the incident as witnesses.
Yes, and that's the reason I would want to hear from them.
Yes.
Is if it is a allegation and denial, the more information I have, the better. And so yes, I mean I do find that their testimony would be material and necessary. So I'll hear from them if they're willing to testify. But I want to start with you. So you heard me go over that roadmap. You've also heard Mr. Weatherhead's arguments or allegations there. So I am particularly interested in hearing from you on, again, I understand it sounds like there's a lot of disputes going on around the HOA business and property lines and things of that nature. So certainly talk about that. I know you've uploaded exhibits on that. But the allegations against you, I think is making it known that you've got a firearm. I think that's something that I want to know more about as well. So as you're going through this, addressing those allegations as well, because frankly, that's something that's concerning. So if you want to respond to that too, I'd encourage you to address that part. But that said, you heard my roadmap, you heard what Mr. Weatherhead had to say. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. So first, I would just like to say that I truly believe that all of this is related to HOA business. Even though all of the area of the HOA, the way that it is written up is so that the roads could be used by all HOA members for the convenience and enjoyment of all HOA members. That being said, myself, my family, we really don't go down any of the other roads for anything. Very rarely do we. So I have no reason to go down any of these other roads other than HOA business. With that said, I would also like to go to a very important part, as you stated, with my firearm. I do have a concealed carry permit, and I do carry almost from the time I wake up till I go back to bed, Your Honor. That being said, after I first moved here to the state, carrying open, not received very well by a lot of persons. So I don't do that anymore. I exclusively have my weapon concealed, and I don't touch it. I don't want people to know that I have it. I don't want to have it, but I do have it, and I do carry it. But I definitely want to make it known that I don't let other people know that I have it. Some of the things that Mr. Weatherhead brought up, that a part of his big concerns is that he's being isolated. He has sent some emails in. He hasn't followed exactly the rules on reporting violations. However, he has in his way, he has reported some of these violations. The board, we have taken a look at them, and other than one that I just revisited with him, definitely don't meet the criteria of a violation. There's one that he just spoke with me Friday, I believe. I believe it was Friday, but within the last few days, Your Honor. And the board, the HOA will need to go and check that one out. Again, I haven't been down there, so I don't even really remember this as being an issue, but it will be something that is checked out.
So that's a violation. Mr. Weatherhead has reported to the HOA that the HOAs may go out and investigate. Okay.
The other ones that he's pointed out, we have looked at, and there was one that he pointed out on me, and I addressed that and fixed it by planting trees. And the other violations that he's reported, we've deemed are not violations.
Okay, environmental
They
cleaning,
could
planting
potentially be. I
trees.
could see why he reported them, but after investigation, they're not. He's
Can you
alleging.
imagine living somewhere where you report your neighbors all the time for shit? Like, these people, oh my god. I can't even handle it. I cannot handle it. I don't understand. I don't understand. Just stop looking out your window. Stop.
Another violation that he mentioned was one of his neighbors having visitors or something coming onto his property. I spoke with him about that, and he put up signs to mark. He has trails out there on his property, so he said he marked the trail better to keep people from going on to Mr. Weatherhead's property. And I haven't had any more reports of that happening.
Okay. Let me ask you to pause because a question just came to mind that I don't want to forget about, and I think is relevant to what you're saying. Mr. Weatherhead, practically speaking here, so it sounds like you're continuing to engage with the HOA about what you feel are violations and things of that nature. Have you thought about, or can you talk a little bit about the practical limitations and challenges that if you were to get an order against Mr. Sauerbrei, being able to engage with the HOA if he's not allowed to contact you?
Yes, Your Honor, and at risk of going too far into what the rules of the HOA and you making a decision on that. Again, this all started with Mr. Sauerbrei. I'm addressing the issue of people trespassing on my property. We've tried signs, and my road.
Well, I'm gonna come back to you about kind of the broader question, but that question specifically, are you saying you don't want him to contact you anymore?
Yes,
Because
Your Honor,
it sounds like the concern that I'm hearing is if he is in HOA leadership and you are engaging with the HOA and resolving some disputes, sounds like in a different court or through a lawsuit, that's not something that Mr. Sauerbrei would be able to engage with you on anymore.
Correct, Your Honor. Let me redirect back to your question. Before this, when I was on the HOA, many of the members had expressed interest in dissolving the HOA completely, as its sole purpose, as Mr. Sauerbrei, when he was previous president, had stated, was to maintain a portion of road that is now paved, and we no longer maintain that. So I started a petition, first I got verbal confirmation from at least 50% of the members in our community that they would like to dissolve the HOA. Unfortunately, we have to have 67% because it's dissolving the HOA. But part of that petition was to relieve Mr. Sauerbrei of his duties as the president, and we only need 50% votes for that, and I got that verbally, and it's out to vote right now as we speak. So as soon as those votes get returned, I plan to call a special meeting that relieves Mr. Sauerbrei from his duties as the president of the HOA.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I was just curious if that's something you thought about, and it sounds like you have. Okay, I wanted to address that before we got too much further. Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Weatherhead. Okay, back to you, Mr. Sauerbrei. I'm sorry I cut you off. You were talking about the issues with Mr. Weatherhead indicating other folks have been coming onto his property. If I could kind of direct you towards one thing I'm not really looking at necessarily here is unequal enforcement of HOA rules. It sounds like that's something that is being addressed through perhaps a lawsuit. One of the things, though, I'm looking at is the allegations that Mr. Weatherhead's made that you are coming onto his property where it's either undisputed that it's his property or that HOA doesn't necessarily have any business to be there. So can you talk a little bit about those allegations?
So I believe there was, because like I said, he called me Friday. So we spoke about this again on Friday. I believe there was two, I think best I can remember, there was one time. He said there was two. I'm not going to argue. Maybe it was a second time that I went actually past where the easement is, even though the easement's in argument, that I went past the easement. And this was quite a while back last year, before I thought that the road went on past there. And I was down there, and even that is on a property line where I was walking. And then I came back and I actually found the marker. And since I found that marker, I haven't went back there in that area because I have no reason to go back there. I have been in this area that he's disputing, even though I'm sure it's not in dispute. I've talked to Public Works and everything else, but I have been in that area. But other than the one time before I found the actual survey marker and knew it for sure where it was, I did go back there.
Okay.
Prior
to finding that marker.
Correct. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Was that is that around the September 20th time he's talking about?
Yes.
Around that?
It might have even been prior to that, but around that point.
All right.
It just seems that he's talking about this rope that he put up and he put a no trespassing sign on it. But he's put that up and it's still it's in the middle of the easement.
Okay.
So it's not, that's, I believe, what you're calling the disputed area.
Thank you. Talk to me a little bit
You know
about
what I think you've never been in the disputed area, Mikey? Never visited any disputed areas? This case, I mean, it's got all the mix-ins and fix-ins to be wild, but both of these guys scream, I'm in the HOA with their personalities, allegedly, in my opinion.
February 25th incident. And this is the one where Mr. Weatherhead is indicating there was a confrontation with his fiance and his father, and that the pistol was used or the weapon was used in an intimidating manner. So this is your chance to kind of respond to that part of it.
Yes, sir. So on that day, we had the meeting, the three of us went out there. I truly was hoping that Neil would be able to come or that he would. And even though he said he had prior, I mean, it's all a volunteer thing. And so we didn't postpone it. We just went ahead and had it. It's been going on since September. So the first thing the three of us did was.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I have in my notes, and now I can't remember if this is actually in your exhibit or not, that your email on February 19th indicating there was going to be a hearing on the 25th. Did you indicate that you would be on his property for that violation dispute?
It was in the location time because I gave him date, time, and location.
Okay. Do you remember the location? Was it going to be
end of Starflower? I believe is what I put in the email.
End of Starflower. Okay.
Turnabout at the end of Starflower.
Okay. All right, and that end of Starflower, that's this disputed easement area, is that right?
That's the area he's disputing, yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
So the three of us got down there. The first thing that I did is I wanted to show them where, you know, the easement, which is there's a surveyed marker, and then 50 feet from that, it's 50, whatever it is, 50.8, whatever it is. So we measured that out, and that gets you to the center of the road on a certain azimuth. We don't have certified surveyor tools, but I believe the three of us believe that we would be close enough that it would be within a reasonable amount of distance. So we measured it out, and we even marked it 5 degrees each way so that we could have a variant, or, you know, a buffer. Then from there, we measured out the 150. Everything that was parked there was at 80 feet. So way, even if our equipment wasn't exact, way within the 150-foot easement. So after we measured everything out and marked it and took a look, so we wrote all that down, and we were in agreement that yes, all of this stuff is within the easement, within the roadway, blocking the roadway. So we took all that down into the violations thing. We were getting ready to leave whenever his fiance came in a, you know, like a little side-by-side deal. And then another car came in with her that I had never, if I had, I didn't recognize the man, Mr. Weatherhead, as Mr. Weatherhead Senior. So his fiance was speaking to us, talking to us. Not sure that the conversation really matters, but she was just asking us why we were bothering Mr. Weatherhead, and I was just trying to explain that we really didn't want to have to do this, but it was blocking the road, things like that. And then I don't remember exactly how, if I had asked who that was, and she said it was his dad, and I said he was still in his vehicle at the time. I believe his window was down, but he was still in his vehicle. And I asked if he was a property owner of the lot there. And his fiance said, no, he's not. And I said, well, I was asking him. I wanted him to give me a response. So I walked over there toward him, toward his vehicle, and asked again. And then he got out of his car, kind of stormed over toward me, and started saying, hey, you're trespassing. You need to get out of here. I wasn't really scared, but I believe that Ariel was nervous. That's my words, but she definitely took off and went to her van. I said, I was like, just calm down. We're leaving. We're done already. Anyways, we're leaving. And I went and got to my truck, I started it up, and then I seen Ariel in front of me, parked in her, just looking like she didn't know what she was gonna do. Because you might be able to turn around, there's like a turn out. It's basically a one-way road and there's turnouts. So there's kind of a little turnout where she was parked, but be somewhat difficult to turn around. And I got out of my truck and I said, do you wanna come down here and turn around? And she was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, come on. And I stayed out of my truck, just waited for her to get turned around. Once she got turned around and left, I got back in my truck, pulled out, waited for Ted, for Mr. Wheezy to get in his truck. And then
Mr.
we just
Wheezy,
kind of
what?
convoyed out of there.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Specifically, can you address the allegation that you brandished a firearm and
I-
expressed that you were doing so to intimidate them?
I definitely deny that 100%. I mean, as I stated before, I don't lean on my pistol, my gun. I don't touch it. I don't
Lean
fidget
on
with it. I
me.
don't want anybody to know that I have it. And also that brings me back. I never said that I was there to intimidate anybody. I believe was.
Yeah, that's
And
that's
I never said that, never said anything along those lines, because that isn't why I was there. That isn't why I've done any of this, Your Honor. I honestly wish I didn't have to do this. I took this role on to try to help the HOA out and get it back up and moving again. It's all volunteer. I don't get paid for any of this. I have other stuff that I could do.
all right.
Then why
Thank
wouldn't you do it? Why would you
Um,
volunteer to be the HOA?
All right. Who I'd like to hear from next is Ariel McClendon and Ted. Is it Weesey, not Weiss?
Yeah,
Okay,
correct.
I'm sorry. I see you both on Zoom.
Hello.
And now you've come off mute. Great. All right.
Hold on, we need to have a discussion. I just realized we've been going at it for an hour and 43 minutes. And I love that for us. But I also think that it's possible this case may take up the entirety of the video. What the fuck was that? And you can tell when it's a message that I want versus something else, right? No blushing, just what the fuck was that? Anyways, we'll have to see. If we get over 2 hours, we'll probably do members only tomorrow morning. In the midday. the midday for Paisley.
Are the two of you able to activate your cameras?
Yes, I'll get them here.
All right, and looks like Miss McClendon was able to do that first.
Ariel, oh my god, and neck tattoos.
So I'll start with
oh,
her.
For fuck's sake.
All right, Miss
Jesus
McClendon, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth and the whole truth?
I do.
All right. So as I said earlier, neither you or Mr. Weissy are, Ms. Smith, yeah, thank you, are parties to this requested order. But I do find that your testimony is material and necessary to the decision, specifically because of your presence at one of the instances here where there's an allegation that the respondent, Mr. Sauerbrei, brandished a weapon and did so in a way that was meant to intimidate folks. So you were there. You're under oath. If you want to talk about that instance, I'd welcome your testimony.
Okay. So we had showed up at this meeting that we had planned that was at Neil's request. And we had kind of just discussed everything, and I had not actually seen the area in question until that day. And so that was partially why we were there also, because I didn't really want to make a decision as a board member based on something that I hadn't actually seen. And we were there, and we had just finished up, and two vehicles rolled up very, very fast, and as we were leaving, and Neil's fiance approached us and kind of like accosted us and was kind of like accusing us, like, why are you here? What are you doing? And I remember saying like we were kind of just on our way out. But she kept engaging with us and wanting to talk to us. So the kind of sound that they were trying to just get us to leave
in this case.
isn't really accurate, at least as far as I was there, because like she was continuing to engage with us, and it kind of felt like they were there to have a confrontation with us, and they were recording us and just overall just kind of trying to, because like we were on our way out and we were trying to leave, and Neil's father parked forward in front of all of the vehicles that were parked in the turnabout, and I was parked further back because I was expecting to be able to use the turnabout to turn around. And so on my way out, because I just got to a point where they were continuing to engage with us and just kind of, it just felt like they were trying to cause a confrontation. It just felt like they were trying to get recordings of us. And they were just trying to, it was just not, it didn't feel like they were just trying to get us to leave. It just felt like they were trying to get something out of it. So I was uncomfortable because they were recording us and because Neil's father was just very, quietly standing there, or like in his car. It was just very odd, especially because we were on our way out and we were about to leave, and that is how I would have preferred it. I didn't really want to interact with anyone, especially not the person who had actually requested the meeting. So I went to my car to turn around, but then realized that I didn't really have enough room to turn around because they had placed themselves and their vehicles in a way such that it was kind of hard for me to do so. So I like looked at Wilbur to, since he was further up, in a kind of like, am I good to turn around? Because it felt like they were making it harder for us to leave. And at no point in this interaction did Wilbur make his gun visible or brandish it or anything like that. And then I just turned around and I left. But
Did he, did Wilbur say anything that you recall that could be interpreted as, I'm here to intimidate?
Not at all. It was the opposite. It was mostly Neil's fiance kind of just saying all sorts of stuff, and Wilbur just kind of calmly being like, no, that's not really what's going on. This is what's going on, and him very calmly trying to explain, but he didn't really say a whole lot, honestly. And we were kind of just trying to get out of there.
Ted,
All right.
What?
are you going to talk about why you were there?
All right. Thank you, Ms. McClendon. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Weesey next. And so you heard there, Ms. McClendon sort of laid out why you were there. I think Mr. Sauerbrei did as well. And so, if you have anything to add, specifically too, from your point of view, I'm curious about if you observed anything that could be interpreted as brandishing a weapon or, doing anything intended to intimidate Mr. Weatherhead's fiance or father in that instance. So that's really what I'm looking for here as well. I understand that the reasons for being there. I think we've gone over that. I'm more concerned about behavior once everyone was there. So with that in mind, sir, if you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth and the whole truth?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
So like Ariel and Wilbur have both stated, is why we were there. I was in the back watching everything take place as we were getting ready to leave, and by no means did Wilbur ever brandish his weapon or try to intimidate. When we were talking with everyone, I actually remember thinking to myself how calm and collected Wilbur was in a situation that was very kind of adrenaline filled because people were upset. And there was no intimidation factor, period. There's no brandishing a weapon, no hands on a weapon.
Before the end. That is so wonderful. Such a good friend. Seriously, Adam, awesome to see you. Great news. I think that this has been so long. We're going to do members only tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, midday. I say morning, I mean midday. So I'm here to give you that great news, Adam. Thank you for being here to receive that great news. Great news. Yeah, around then, Vicky. Yeah.
I know Wilbur carries because, I'm always conscious of who I'm around in my area. But in the whole time I've ever been a neighbor with Wilbur, it's never been an issue, period.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Weezy.
Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Weatherhead, I'll turn it back to you. This is your petition, so you get the last word. And, you've had the benefit now of some testimony here. And so, again, I think you've probably gathered what I'm really focusing here on is allegations of Mr. Sauerbrei's behavior when acting on HOA business, to the extent you've alleged that behavior includes drawing attention to his pistol and in trying to intimidate folks. That's really where I'm focusing in on through this testimony. I know you weren't there on this February 25th.
You guys starting the rumors. You
but I
put
would,
the rumors out there.
I would also ask if that was a, part of a larger pattern of practice. You've indicated, I think, in your testimony earlier, so I know you've done this, but I want to give you a few moments to just say again, now that you've heard from folks, talk about anything you've witnessed as far as brandishing a weapon or comments from Mr. Sauerbrei indicating he's there to intimidate folks as part of, well, in any event, but sounds like as part of his duties as a HOA member or president here. So if you could talk about those instances specifically, I'll give you a few more moments to wrap up and make a decision.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to point out a couple inconsistencies to start off. First off, being with Ariel's testimony that she was scared initially. Yet when she decided to leave, she was the closest to the exit of the property. Yet she chose to drive all the way past everybody to turn around. And there's a turnaround where she was parked that I turn my dually around consistently in. So there's plenty of room and a hammerhead about 100 feet just south of that. So that's a little bit inconsistent to her being scared to go towards them, yet drive right past and through them at that point. I'd also like to point out that Wilbur made a written testimony that he submitted to you, stating that he never carries his pistol while conducting HOA business. Yet today he just agreed that he was carrying it, but he didn't even touch it or anything. Obviously, both my father and my fiance knew that he had it. So if he was concealing it, he wasn't doing a very good job of it. And it's our understanding that that was on purpose. I would also like to point out the emails that I have submitted, which is all the emails and correspondence with the HOA since September, has shown a clear history of me being cooperative. Wilbur Sowerberry and I came to an agreement even back in September that I would move the rope further down as far as I could towards the property line. And that was agreed upon until several months later, he decided to escalate it again. And this leads to my point that he has a history of escalation. It started with the rope was just in the wrong spot, to my garbage cans were out too long, to I was conducting business without permission, yet I had permission from the previous HOA board, yet he was trying to revoke it without cause. And when I requested permission for business activity, he said it wasn't good enough based on rules that they had just enacted without proper voting by the members of the board. He tried to enforce fines that were also not voted upon by members of the board as per the CCNRs, and hired a towing company to tow my things away. Again, not voted upon by the CCNRs. And this instance that's in question, whether he thinks he was showing his pistol or not, he was, and it was evident that he was carrying. And I believe my dad and fiance that they heard him say that he was there for harassment, and I could make that out from the video that my fiance had, but I could see the how somebody that hasn't met Wilbur might not be able to make that out without
it's been like 27 mentions of
shuffled.
fiance.
It was because my fiance was walking at the time that it was said.
28.
So in conclusion, I did reach out to Mr. Sowerberry this weekend in an attempt to not waste the court's time and to come to yet another agreement that I would move the vehicles out of what they're claiming is an easement while we litigate this further in a civil matter. Yet they refused to. And immediately after our last hearing, his wife went straight to Facebook, was slandering me. And again, last night or the day before, another member of the community was slandering me based on my petition that to just do away with the HOA completely. So this continues to escalate, and I don't want it to get to a point where he shows up on my property with a weapon, because I also conceal carry, and I don't want that situation where I feel threatened by him and have to act accordingly. And I don't want to put my family or my kids in that situation either.
Was that a threat?
The request for this anti-harassment is to give me time so he can't continue to contact me, continue to threaten to tow my vehicles or place undue fines and fees on me.
But he'll still be able to do all that as the HOA.
That kind of hinders my progress towards finding a solution to these problems that we're having.
All right, thank you, Mr. Weatherhead.
Lock him up.
I'm going to deny the petition for protection order. The reason being,
Denied,
generally speaking, I think that the allegations against Mr. Sowerberry are grounded in, I think, some issues with HOA enforcement, inconsistent allegations of maybe some procedural unfairness, unequal treatment, things of that nature, that are just simply not, this is not the forum for that. This is anti-harassment protection order, which may carry criminal consequences if violated. For these, it's there needs to be more than kind of disputes over operation of an HOA and easement areas and things of that nature. To the extent there's been allegations against Mr. Sauerbrei that he's gone onto Mr. Weatherhead's property trespassing, it sounds like there may have been an instance or two where Mr. Sauerbrei may have gone onto your property. I don't know if there's enough evidence here that was intentional and part of a larger pattern of practice of knowingly going onto your property without, and I understand this is disputed, but sort of without conducting HOA business or into an area that the HOA believes there's an easement and they have a right to be there. It sounds like a lot of the allegations around trespassing and around things like spray painting and things of that nature and taking pictures is a dispute over whether the HOA and Mr. Sauerbrei in particular has a reason or authorization to be there. And with that dispute in mind, that this is not the forum for that. Really, what I'm focused on is whether or not there's been a showing that Mr. Sauerbrei is engaging in behavior with a firearm intended to intimidate you, Mr. Weatherhead, and your family in carrying out some of those duties. And at this point, I don't think, Mr. Weatherhead, you've met your burden of proof to show it's more likely than not that Mr. Sauerbrei's actions here rise to the level of intimidating or creating a hostile environment based on, it sounds like everyone knows, he's somebody who has a concealed carry pistol license and does carry. That by itself isn't going to create an environment that gets a protection order. You've lodged allegations of him excessively touching it, maybe doing so when things are getting heated. But there's also been testimony to the contrary. And so I'm not in a position to say it's more likely than not that Mr. Sauerbrei is engaging that kind of behavior that necessitates a protection order. So, on that, I don't find that there's been any knowing and willful course of conduct without a legitimate or lawful purpose at this point that creates harassing behavior causing substantial emotional distress. I think most of these issues are being maybe worked out in a different legal forum than this, but I don't find there's enough here for any kind of anti-harassment protection order. Do you have any questions, Mr. Weatherhead?
No, Your Honor. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, sir.
Shit,
You're
I
free to
gotta
go. Thank you to the witnesses who are here today. You're all free to go.
And that's the end of that. Sorry, Judge, we gotta go. I love you guys. I really gotta say goodbye, actually, without even playing the song, because I gotta go answer the door. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll do members only around 1 o'clock. Do me a favor. In the meantime, remember that I love you, and I'm proud of you, and I fucked up the camera, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. I'll try and hit the thing. Bye. Bye.